Oh, bobbing away in my beautiful balloon. well, well, hey, friends, as you know in the news, there have been reports of Chinese spy balloons running around. So they finally found one of these things, and naturally, when it was safe to do so, we shot it down. But it turns out they sent these here balloons over our territory for a while now. If you ask me, as soon as it was detected, this is the one they should have shot down. Ugh. I had to wonder, wouldn't China get all they need from satellites? What could they possibly hope to see using these things? I mean, sure, if I had a surveillance balloon, you know what I'd be looking at. Zoom in, enhance. Well, anyway, balloons have featured in several stories and films over the years. Around the World in 80 Days, The Wizard of Oz, and others have all utilized ballooning and aeronauts. So I thought I'd take a look at two films based on a book by the famous author Jules Verne. See, Jules Verne wrote this here book in 1863 called 5 Weeks in a Balloon. It was the first of his books that combined all of the elements he was later famous for: advanced, seemingly prescient technology, high adventure, and lots of exciting twists and turns along the way. The book came out at a time when the public was fascinated by the mysterious, dark continent, Africa, still only just being explored at the time. So 5 Weeks in a Balloon became an instant bestseller, and Verne was financially set for life. This book eventually fell into the public domain, and looking to cash in, Hollywood leapt at the chance to make movies from it and not have to pay anybody. There were 2 productions launched almost simultaneously, neither of which really follow the book. First up, we have Flight of the Lost Balloon from 1961. In this one, a professor is being held captive in Africa. A balloon is sent across the unknown regions of the continent to rescue him. On board is our hero and the professor's fiancée, accidentally sent along due to the connivance of a third passenger, a mysterious chic type, who is obviously the baddie holding the professor hostage. The hero and the fiancé naturally fall for each other. This here professor has found the treasure of Cleopatra, and the baddie wants it, hence kidnapping the fiancé. It's all very contrived, and none of this, aside from a balloon traveling across Africa, is in the book. In our cast, we have Marla Powers as the fiancée. She was in 1953's City Beneath the Sea with Robert Ryan and Anthony Quinn, and played Roxanne in the 1950 version of Cyrano de Bergerac with Jose Ferrer. She worked steadily in TV. Marshall Thompson is the hero. He was in It, The Terror from Beyond Space, Daktari, Around the World Under the Sea, and Clarence the Cross-Eyed Lion. He also did a lot of work in television. Charles Lamphier plays the baddie. He was in a lot of stuff, including bit parts in The Pink Panther, Days of Wine and Roses, Breakfast at Tiffany's, The Deadly Mantis, and Operation Petticoat. Douglas Kennedy is the captive. He worked in a lot of westerns, both in the movies and on TV. All of them are pretty much wasted here. Lamphier gives what is probably the best performance. The special effects are less than special, with bad match shots, bad model work, and all the rest. There is some location shooting at a crumbling seaside complex that looks kinda interesting, but it's not well written, directed, or realized. Not even a great diversion for kids back in the day. It's too bad, really. The producers did add a fun promotional gimmick to the mix, though, a la William Castle. They made a big point of having motion sickness pills available in theaters for audience members affected by the aerial footage. Next, we have 5 Weeks in a Balloon from 1962. This one is perhaps a little truer to Verne's work, but pushes light comedy along with the adventure and, as Hollywood is wont to do, added new characters and romances to the story. Surprisingly, this was helmed by none other than Irwin Allen, who gave us Lost in Space, Earthquake, The Poseidon Adventure, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, The Time Tunnel, and many more. This picture was somewhat of a departure for Allen, as it's really an adventure comedy, not a genre I usually associate with him. With this picture, they were obviously going for the same vibe as Walt Disney's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea from 1954. The comedy is never too heavy-handed, and for the most part, it sort of blends in. The production added a clumsy American reporter and 2 sexy chicks for romancing purposes. They also changed the objective of the flight from one of exploration into a political mission to plant the Union Jack in a coastal part of Africa to somehow prevent slave traders from operating there. Don't know how that would work exactly, but okay. In our cast is a bunch of familiar faces. We have Red Buttons, Cedric Hardwicke, Peter Lorre, Fabian with his pompadour, and yes, he does sing in this picture. Henry Daniell, Herbert Marshall, Barbara Luna from the classic Star Trek episode Mirror, Mirror. She's here, along with Barbara Eden. Yeah, I still dream of Jeannie. You know it. Peter Lorre and Barbara Eden previously worked on Irwin Allen's Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea just the year before, in 1961. We also have this guy, Richard Hayden, a longtime character actor who specialized in fussy professor types. Not unlike Edward Everett Horton, but more reserved. He has a great turn in one of my favorite movies, Ball of Fire from 1941, starring Gary Cooper and Barbara Stanwyck. Of the two, 5 Weeks in a Balloon is easily the more interesting, entertaining, and more watchable picture. The comedic edge kinda works. For its time, the special effects are okay, and the picture has a big-looking scale, too, which Irwin Allen did so well. I'd give it 2.5 paws. Flight of the Lost Balloon comes off as a weak sister by comparison. It does have some vague entertainment value, but honestly, not that much. This one is more like a 1.25 paw picture. You take care not to get conked on the head by a balloon, and I'll see you in the next one.